What's going on YouTube? My name is Brett. I'm going to show you how to adjust coilovers for a 98 Civic. The same applies for 92 to 2000 Civics, and the same general steps for basically any car. Okay, first things first, our tools. We're going to need a jack and jack stands to get the car up, obviously. You want to get a drink. It might be a little long. I mean, I do it pretty quickly, but you still want to have a drink. This is to get my rims off. You're going to need to take your wheels off, obviously. Here I have a 14mm, which is good for the fork bolt. 17mm, which you're going to use for your... it holds the fork to the lower control arm. Here's another socket wrench with another 17mm. We're going to need two of those because there's two bolts on the bottom. You're going to need a hammer and a flathead screwdriver, or you can use your spanner wrenches. It doesn't matter. I think it's a lot easier with the hammer and the flathead. Alright, so first step, you're going to want to break your rims a little loose. You're not going to want to take them off completely, but you're going to want to break them loose so while they're in the air, when they're jacked up, you don't have to do that. So we'll just start with breaking them loose. You don't gotta do it too much, and just do that for every bolt on both sides. Okay, now I'm not sure about your car, but for the Civic, which I have, there's a jack point, and if you can see where my finger's pointing, it's right here. Right here. So you're gonna jack it up by that, and then put the front on the jack stands. Alright, now you're gonna let the jack loose, and that's how you adjust your coilovers. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, we're gonna let the jack loose, and then we're gonna start taking the wheels off. Okay, now while everything is intact, when we got our wheel off, we're going to start, we're going to break the perch loose, because it's going to be annoying to do when it's not bolted in place. And then we're going to start getting to work on, where is it? We're going to start getting to work on this. This is going to take the two 17mm, and then there's a fork bolt right here. We're going to get that right off. Alright, now we got our two wrenches attached to the bolt, so we're going to get to loosening it. You're going to want to take the nut off, but you're going to want to leave the bolt in place. Alright, we got the nut off. Now we got our wrench, a 14mm, attached to the fork bolt, holding up the strut to it. So we're going to get that loose. By the way, just reminding you, make sure you get this loose. It'll make it a lot easier right now. Okay, so now we're going to loosen that and take the bolt out all the way. Okay, we got our fork bolt out. Now we're going to go ahead and take the, where is it? I can't see anything. We're going to go ahead and take that bolt out. You might have to hammer it out with the side of your wrench, and then when that happens, the whole assembly is going to drop down, and then we're going to be able to start adjusting. Okay, the assembly dropped down. We wiggled the fork off, and now we're left with the bare coilover still attached in the engine bay. Now, since we loosened this, now we're just going to spin this to the desired height. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be raising the front of my car. So to do that, we're going to put that up, and then we're going to spin this downwards. You want to get a tape measure right now and measure how much you want to raise it or lower it. I'm going to raise mine 1/2 inch, so it's going to be sitting down around right here. So, yes, that's all you got to do for this part. Okay, you can see where it's dirty and where it's not dirty. Where it's not dirty is the amount of space that I adjusted it. Alright, now we finger tighten this, because if you try tightening with the hammer or the spanner wrenches, it's going to make it go down further. So we're going to do just as we did before. We're going to attach the fork to the bottom. We're going to bolt the fork back into place. When everything's all tightened up, that's when you give it the nice hammer to tighten it. Alright, I put the bolt back in. I'm going to tighten the nut finger tight, and then I'm going to start tightening the fork bolt on top all the way. After you tighten that all the way, you're going to put the nut back on, you're going to tighten that all the way, and then you're going to finally tighten your locking collar. Alright, I went ahead and tightened everything up. We tightened this up, we tightened that. We actually, make sure you actually raised your car or lowered your car instead of vice versa. You know, I did that last time, and then one of my side was lopsided. Really annoying. Okay, make sure that's tight. You're going to make sure the fork bolt, where the fuck is it? You're going to make sure that's tightened all the way. And then you want to make sure that that's tightened all the way. And then after that, you can go ahead and put your wheel on. And then after that, you can go ahead and do the other side the same way you did this side. And then you can look at your car, and then you can get in alignment. Get in alignment right after, I'm telling you. You don't want camber wear in your tires. There you go. Alright guys, comment, subscribe. Thanks a lot. Bye.